Hi everyone, Michael Sandler here, your host on Inspire Nation. I want to talk about one simple question with you today. And that question that we're all asking at this time as we're going, oh my God, is did my soul choose this? Did my soul choose this lifetime? Did it choose all the experiences that are going on? Did it even choose the duck and cover that we may be experiencing individually or collectively at this time? So the simple answer to this is yes. Yes, your soul did choose this, and you did choose to incarnate at this particular time. We're going to have a whole video that will cover why this time, why now specifically, when everything seems to be going down. But with that said, for your soul path, for your evolution, for everything about who and what you are, you chose this time, you chose now. Now you might be saying to yourself, I want to renegotiate, I didn't want to be here now. But truly, it is for your highest good. Now, I want to share with you, I like sharing stories. And so I want to share with you a little bit about my life, not as a lesson of a do as I say, not as I do, but, and not as a warning, which you'll understand better in a minute. But I want to share with you what I've learned about my life, which then helps you understand more about your life, because we learn best with stories. We learn much better with stories than we do with lists, than we do with bullet points. There came a point when I was living on Maui, I guess was best-selling author of Barefoot Running with my wife, Jessica, at the time. This is about 10 years ago. And I had been experiencing accident after accident, injury after injury. I had 2 near-death experiences. I think I had just had my 3rd serious accident in a row where I was on a road bike going through a switchback and the bike didn't slide out. It went up into the air and down. I was a former pro cyclist and I'm going, what happened here? Why am I getting so injured? Now, it's interesting. I had been diving into automatic writing, and that's a process that I teach. You can go to automaticwriting.com and learn all about it. And I had heard some interesting things, which were repeated time and time again, but they didn't fully settle in until I had a past life regression session with someone trained personally by Dolores Cannon, who's kind of one of the past life regression experts of all experts. In this session, where under hypnosis, I went in essence back in time beyond my physical shell. I went back to a time that I'm surrounded, they're kind of at like a giant desk, a council of elders. And we're discussing what I'm going to do for my next lifetime here on earth. It was time for me to go back, time for me to incarnate again, believed by my own choice. But the discussion was, what do you want this lifetime? Now, between you and me, we all make a conscious choice on the other side to incarnate. It's not that you have to come back. There isn't this law of karma that says if you made a mistake one lifetime, you're doomed to have to repeat it over and over and over again. Or if you did something wrong or bad, putting that in big quotes, because there is no good or bad. These are learnings. Certainly, we want to take care of our fellow man. Certainly, we want to come from a place of love and kindness and compassion. But this is a school for us to learn. And it's not a pass-fail, and you're not required. You're not being thrown back, like thrown to the wolves until you get it. You chose this. You chose to learn. You choose to grow. You choose to expand, or chose to expand. You chose to come back and play with your soul family, to play with your homies on this side of the veil, where things are admittedly a lot more difficult. They're a lot heavier. But in a sense, the rewards are so much greater. You can create in physicality rather than just zipping around in time and space where you're not able to create. Here you get to play with Legos. You get to play with building blocks and create. It's kind of cool. So we chose to come back with specific missions having to do with our growth individually and collectively, meaning for you as an individual and for the organism of humanity or spirit consciousness as a whole. And you came back to learn certain lessons for your growth, for your awareness, for your ascension. Now, I keep saying individually and collectively because as you learn and grow and your energy goes up and up, you start to carry everybody else up with you. If you think of humanity, and if you think of all of consciousness, which is humanity and Martianity and Plutoanity, you get it. If you think of all beingness together, whether it's humanity or all beingness, it is all a frequency. There's a hum of the earth. There's a hum of the universe. There's the hum of all of our hearts together. It's being studied by people like Howard Martin at HeartMath. It's called global coherence. Our hearts come together and match frequency. As you work on yourself and heal your heart, your frequency goes up and you start to heal the hearts of everybody around you. In essence, you change the song and help bring it to a new octave. Remember that concept. We're going to come back to it, going to a new octave. Now, you also came here because as you go to a new octave, it helps bring all of consciousness, all of energy, of beingness, of everything to a higher level. So in a sense, you're brave. You could say a warrior. I'm a lover, not a fighter, but you are certainly an earthtronaut coming back here to experience everything there is, to experience the challenges for your highest good, the highest good of all, for your spiritual growth, your evolution. So, I'm there before the Council of Elders, and our personality is our personality on the other side of the veil as well here. Our wounds, our protective mechanism, those go away. We don't need them on the other side. So we are in a state of woohoo, whatever that looks like with your personality. But our personality remains. My personality likes to play things big. I was just out skating on the ice at the lake behind me. First time skating on this ice, and it's been after we had a big melt. I'm not that big of a risk taker, so I was paying careful attention. And as I'm hearing creaks and groans on the ice, I came back in fast. But I like to live life large. I like to play. I like to explore. So here I am, Council of Elders. Michael, what do you want to do this lifetime? Give me the works. No, we're serious, Michael. What do you want to learn this lifetime? Give me the works. Give me whatever it takes for me to have the greatest growth possible this lifetime. I'll take it all. And they're like, you can't handle that. You can't handle the truth. Give me the works. Your wish is my command. Fast forward, I'm incarnate, I'm in body, I'm in Maui, and I've had my second near-death experience. I had that fall that happened a year later that cracked open all of the ribs in front of my heart, all the bones behind my heart, all the bones on top of my heart. Literally, my heart is cracked open. And I'm going, what in the world is going on? And I go into this past life regression. I see myself before the Council of Elders, and I understand I came here with a soul contract. That soul contract was to experience challenge after challenge, coming in the form of physical injury and illness, to help me learn and grow. Ow. Big ow. Big ow. Now, I'm sure we're going to have a recording in the future where I'll talk about renegotiating your soul contract. But I got it. I understood that I chose to come here and chose to get broken, shall we say, to help me to learn and grow and evolve. Now, did that awareness change that brokenness? I have not had I had some minor injuries. Particularly, I was breaking toes for a while, and then I was breaking some ribs. Did not feel good, but no serious injuries for the better part of a decade until I got hit by a car, actually a full-size SUV, 2.5 months ago. Part of that soul contract too. Thankfully, fewer things a lot farther in between. Much, much better that way. So here's where it gets interesting, bringing it back to you. On some level, and do I need to address anything more about that accident? I renegotiated things to a certain extent, but I still came here for certain learnings and growths. The big picture thing, well, let's go into it. This is where things get really interesting. On some level, all of the challenges you came here to face come through you and for you. All of the challenges you came here to face come through you and for you. This is where we get to have a very clear distinction. What does this mean? Through you and for you. What I'm trying to say is everything in the universe is happening for your highest good. It's happening for you. It's happening through you. It is not happening to you. I didn't get whacked by the SUV because I did something wrong. I'm not even sure I mentioned. When I got that inventory, it was at least 34 times that I had accidents, injuries, or illness, or been hospitalized. Serious things. I guess that was by age 40. Holy smokes. But these weren't punishment. They weren't happening to me. They were happening for me. And if you get nothing else today, nothing else at all, understand these are gifts. This is the juice. This is the good stuff. Now, I'm not saying that we have to go, woohoo, I got hit by an SUV, because between you and me, that is not what I was thinking. And I was very, very sad because it was my wife Jessica's birthday. And holy crap, here I am in an ambulance getting towed off to the hospital. I believe I'm going to be all right, but wow, did I just get whacked. That was a very, very sad moment. It was not a over-the-top, happy, this is a gift. My first near-death experience, that's a whole story for another day unto itself. That was a, woohoo, life is good, yeah, even though I was completely broken. This was not that. But at the same time, these are huge gifts. Huge gifts. When you experience a serious moment in life, it is guaranteed that if you don't go into a state of victimhood, of poor me, woe is me, something great, something incredible, something grand, something beyond what you can even imagine is coming for you. Not coming to chase you down, meaning you are going to learn, you are going to find yourself at an even higher level, whatever that means for you. Even my spiritual growth in the last 2.5 months, because we lost a daughter in utero, we had me getting hit by a car. But wow, have I learned and grown. When you begin to understand this, when you get to see these things as gifts, to quote Steve Jobs, the last thing he's supposed to have ever said, wow, oh wow, oh wow. You understand that the universe and you, your spirit on the other side of the veil, your higher self, as it's called, and we have a whole nother video coming up on that. Your higher self is cheering you on and setting you up for success. Wow, oh wow, oh wow. Means something amazing will come out of this. by design. So we don't go to a place of victimhood because that takes us down into the sewer. That takes us down into the toilet, and we make it very hard. We kind of block our ability to learn and grow. But if you can understand that kind of those on the other side of the veil, yourself included as part of that team, we're scheming for your highest good, you begin to get it, and it sets you free so that even in the experience, so I'm there in the ambulance after getting hit by the SUV, and I'm giving thanks to the angels, thanks to the guides, thanks to my elders. I'm not in a place of woohoo. It hurt like it hurt. At the same time, I could recognize something greater's at play. So, the big picture is no. So if you get nothing else, understand these are gifts for you. These are things that you signed up for on the other side to help you learn, to help you grow, to help you expand, to help you become an even greater version of yourself than you could ever imagine. So the big question, I keep stumbling over this. The big question is, did I choose each and every event, large and small? Did I choose each and every event, large and small, in this lifetime? The truth is, the answer's not as simple as it seems. In many ways, your soul did. In many ways, your soul did. In many ways, it did not. What does it mean? Well, first off, we come here with this sense of amnesia. Not even a sense of amnesia. We come here forgetting who we are, forgetting what our mission is, forgetting why we're here, so that we can learn and grow. If we truly embody the understanding that we are energy having an energetic experience in human form, we wouldn't care if we walked across the street and got smacked by a car. We would think, well, it doesn't matter, I'm going back home. But we don't learn and grow that way. Instead, we come here amnesic, with a sense of mortal fear. If I cross the road, I'm going to get hit by the car, I'm going to die, that's the end of everything. That helps us to play the video game well. It's important. It's also important because many, not all, but many of life's greatest events were preordained. And if you know they're coming, it's not so much that you can avoid them. We've all heard the joke about the Grim Reaper. You hear the Grim Reaper is coming to town, and so you run out of town, maybe to an Airbnb these days. You run out of town to an Airbnb. There's a strange knock in the middle of the night, and it's the Grim Reaper. He was lost, but oh wait, there you are. Hello. It's not that if we knew what was coming, we could avoid it. But it wouldn't have the power behind it. It wouldn't have the shock value. It wouldn't have the challenge behind it. Understand, yes, your energy, having an energetic game in human form, but every experience is energy too. The greater the energy, the greater the positive change is possible. The greater the energy, the greater the positive change is possible. Which means, if I had gotten bumped by a cyclist, maybe that wouldn't have nearly the energy behind it as getting kissed, that's a good way to put it, by an SUV. Now, I don't wish these things for you. I certainly don't wish them for myself. An expression I like to use is cancel, clear, release, meaning I let go of that. I also like to say kind, gentle, easy, good. May all of my lessons come in the kindest, gentlest, easiest fashion for my highest good and the highest good of all. But the truth is, no matter how much I wish for things to be easy, at least while I'm in this 3D reality, this heaviness that we have not ascended beyond, it's all about the energy, the power, the seriousness, the heaviness of the experience. Which means when you have a heavy experience, don't judge it as bad. When you have a heavy experience, don't judge it as bad. In fact, when you're having the dark night of the soul, understand that amount of energy is going to help carry you up and up and up, higher and higher and higher still. Sort of like the kitty behind me that's trying to climb a couch at this minute. So, many of the big experiences are preordained. The big experiences have a lot of energy behind us which help us to grow. Not all of them are preordained though, because there is a factor called free will. Free will's kind of cool. Free will makes the game more interesting, makes it more unexpected. Now, I'm not a big violent film aficionado, to say the least, because it's all programming our mind. And I have to go into a very special state and able to watch, to be able to watch movies that have violence in them. One of the series that I really do like is The Matrix. And what the architect in this is Keanu Reeves series, you've probably seen it, but if not, there is a real world, and then there is a virtual world, and the virtual world was created by an architect to help, what's the best way to put this? Well, spoiler alert, here we go. The real world, everybody is in, most people are in cocoons, so that the world has been taken over by robots, and the robots are keeping people like Duracell batteries, their term, to generate energy off of people who are in cocoons. To keep them alive and in the cocoon, they plug people's brain into a video game, the equivalent of, or an equivalent of a video game called The Matrix, a virtual world. In essence, sort of like Earth School. And there is an architect in the early movies who created this world and helped keep this world going. He said that the virtual world kept collapsing time after time after time again when it was made too perfect, too clean. He had to make the virtual world messy, what he called having a remainder on the equation that could not be solved. And only when he made the game messy did humanity not reject it. Only when the game was made messy did humanity not reject it. That's what we're dealing with here. We're going, I want a perfect world. I want a panacea. I want puppies and roses all the time. No, that's not what you came here for. You would reject it. You would think, well, if I can walk across the road and never get hit, what's the point? If I can go to the Winter Olympics and win every gold medal in every event with no effort, what's the point? If I could do anything, anywhere, at any time with no effort and be the best at everything and have infinite dollars, infinite wealth, infinite everything, what's the point? In fact, you can see a lot of people in Hollywood, not picking on them in particular, but a lot of people who have a lot of money get in a lot of trouble if they hit the point of, what's the point? So we were given free will so that we could have chance, so that we could have disappointment, so that things could go wrong for us to learn and grow. If we knew all of the key events in advance, we wouldn't need to live. If even our soul, because your soul does know when a lot of big things are coming. Between you and me, before we had the ultrasound that said our twin girls were in trouble, my soul knew about it. I was freaked out. Technical term, I was freaked out before we went, wow, and now a lens has jumped out of my glasses. How's that? Hold on here, everybody. If my lens hadn't jumped out of my glasses, things wouldn't have been so interesting. If you know everything that's coming, things aren't that interesting. However, your soul does know about many of the big things. I knew in advance at a soul level that we were about to go from twins to singleton, and it was supposed to be a regular, benign, is that the right word, routine ultrasound, just to tell us the girls are doing great. And yet there was a mortal fear inside of me saying that's not going to happen. And it did not. Sometimes our soul needs to know about these big events in advance. Actually, the soul sets us up, knows about them in advance to give us just the right amount of energy to help us learn and grow and expand. If not, there may be too much shock. And now a light has gone out. Of course, there may be too much shock, causing a light to go out. Are you serious? If we knew all the key events, we wouldn't evolve and grow. Some of them are created in advance, and our soul has notice of it to give us just the right amount of energy to help us learn and grow. Some of the events we don't know or don't know when it's going to happen to help us learn and grow at an even higher level. There's more shock value to it. You are always given just what you need to help you learn and grow if you are open to it. So the big question we get to ask, and I know that you're asking it, is did I create my divorce? Did I create my accident? Did I create the loss of a loved one, of a partner, of a twin? Did I create my business to explode, my this to explode, my that to explode, the kitty to go crying? I'm not sure if you can hear that. Kitty crying in the background. And the answer is yes, oh yes, oh yes. You created all of this. Not what I think about, I bring about. I lately have been railing on the law of attraction a lot, and it has a lot of brilliance to it. But one of the places where it falls short is it leads toward the blame game. Well, bad things happened to you. You had to have had certain thoughts. No, this is not about the blame game. If you can hear the kitty in the background, he's emphatically agreeing with me. This is not about the blame game. It's about conspiring on the other side of the veil, setting you up on the other side of the veil for the moments that you need to help you to learn and to grow. These are not tragic life events. I feel like I'm in dangerous territory saying this. These are not tragic life events. Yes, losing a loved one is tragic. Cannot take away from that. Yes, many of these, I'll come back to the loss of a loved one. Loss of a loved one is a loss of a loved one is a loss of a loved one. It's real. It's horrific. It's terrible. I'm not making light of it in any way, shape, or form. But we have only lost them for this lifetime. You're infinite. You're divine. You have been here since the beginning of time. You'll be here till the end of time. And your soul family is too. You'll see them again on the other side of the veil. That's why there are cultures where they actually celebrate the crossing over of a soul. We don't do that here in the West. It would probably be a good idea to get back to, but it's hard. I can't celebrate the loss of Miraku. She's not gone. Putting loss in quotes. I don't have the ability to celebrate that. I know she's coming back, yet I can't celebrate it. But in general, I can look generically. I can look at the experience of Miraku passing on, of Hannah Gerling big and strong, and I can say, woohoo, something amazing is coming out of this. I don't know how, I don't know why, I don't know what. I guess I do know the why. For my highest good and the highest good of all. But something great is coming out of this. If I can get you to the place today, to know that these are setups, to know that these are gifts, to know that these are celebratory events, that are here, purposeful moments in your life to help you grow, to help you expand, to help you get to the next level. Woohoo! I have done my job. So the big challenge isn't remembering. The big challenge isn't remembering that there's a council of elders helping decide this lifetime. The big challenge isn't remembering that there's a council of elders deciding these things for you, but remembering that it is you yourself who is helping set this up for you to learn and grow. And when you understand that you ultimately created these events, not here, not now, not with thoughts, but as gifts to help you grow, you leave a lot of the negativity behind from the event. Super important to understand. Because you can go, I created these events as a gift. Woohoo! Or you can go, and I had a dear client and dear friend, Marla, many years ago. I call this the Marla effect. She took things on the opposite side of the coin. She said, my higher self, meaning my soul on the other side of the veil, I created these things? What kind of a bleep bloop would do that? I am so bleep bleep pissed with you. Why did you do that to me? What were you thinking? And she had this inner conflict and this inner war with herself. She was at war. She was at war with her soul or her spirit, going, why did you do this to me? Why do you hate me so much? Why are you treating me so badly? You may hear these same thoughts inside of you. That's going to a place of lower vibration of victimhood. The challenge with victimhood is now we can't learn and expand and grow from the experience that was actually a setup for our highest good. It's not that our soul on the other side is torturing us, our soul is picking on us. Our soul is loving us up, is helping us to grow. And yes, we'll do a whole show on your higher self on the other side of the veil, but it's a setup for you. And it's a setup to develop even more kindness and compassion for yourself as you're going through these experiences. Because chances are, coming here now, as this video I'm going to be recording here shortly will explain, you came here now during a very important, profound, prophetic time. These are end times. This is the Mayan calendar, plus, plus, plus. This is a changing of an era. It's not easy, but it is a rockin' awesome, great gift. So you have a choice of going, poor me, woe is me. Why did this happen to me? And even worse, why did you, being me, do this to me? Or you can go to a place of, this is happening through me and for me. How does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? Thank you, thank you, thank you. And may you please make everything moving forward kind, gentle, easy, good. Make this easier for me. Because while I am celebratory, I really don't want to get smacked by an SUV or whatever it is again. Which is to say, change is going to happen. Shift is going to happen. Stuff is going to go down. How much can you take how much can you take? How much can you choose an elevated state of consciousness to see these things for what they are, the gifts they were meant to be, and most importantly, to love yourself up during the process. I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself. How much can you love yourself up? Even during the most challenging times, understanding you played a role with this on the other side of the veil. So, self-love is one of the most powerful rules and lessons of the universe. Self-love is one of the most powerful rules and lessons of the universe. What you choose is, was, and always will be out of self-love. It is never out of self-hatred. It is never out of self-loathing. It is never out of judgment. These things don't exist on the other side of the veil. And they're very Western Judeo-Christian concepts, and I'm not picking on one religion, of a father knows best on the other side. And if you don't behave, then father is going to come down on you. You're not picking on yourself on the other side of the veil. No one is. You're loving yourself up tremendously. If you can catch a glimpse that each of these experiences, no matter how horrific, came out of love, it will help you to wake up. It will help you to ascend. It will help you to transcend this entire experience and help you to live at that greater octave that I mentioned at the beginning. And as you begin to live at that greater octave, you help everyone else to come up as well. On that note, if you like this video, please share with everybody so that they can learn these amazing lessons and they can ascend and they can transcend and they can wake up and raise to a higher octave as well. So share, 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 share. Big thumbs up if you like this. Subscribe and click the bell icon to be notified of all of our upcoming shows and live events every Monday night with me, where you can ask your questions live, and maybe a second day of the week as well, where I will have my wife Jessica with me. So if you click on that subscribe button and that bell icon, you'll be notified if and when those events take place. Of course, we have our School of Mystics every Wednesday night. That's InspireNationUniversity.com. Of course, you can learn how to channel with your higher self on the other side of the veil. Live classes once a month, automaticwriting.com, to teach you the fastest way to be able to channel and hear from your higher self and your guides. Click here to check out the next amazing video. Love you guys so, so much. Keep on shining bright. Woohoo!